More importantly than your weapons, your applications and how you use them will really decide how you live or die in Syndicate, whether playing solo or as a team. This will be a lengthy video on all 12 applications. 9 of those you earn from beating a stage for the first time on any difficulty. This video will cover how to unlock them, refill them back up, what they do, and using them. For starters, each app requires a certain amount of energy to refill its meter in the lower left in order to be used again. Any action performed that grants you a green XP bonus in the middle of your screen adds up energy to fill your applications. These range from types of kills, assists, heals, reboots, and breaches. I like to put it as a numerical value equal to the green XP gain shown. 100 for a kill is 100 energy added to refilling an app. Higher difficulties also give you more XP and energy for certain actions. Let's note that the Rampage bonus and multiplier shown at the bottom middle of the screen do not affect the apps filling up with energy any faster. That just turns into bonus XP. Some applications stay active for a short time while you use them. If with other players, you can see the currently active apps at the top of your screen to the right of another player's health bar. With that being said, from here on out I will be speaking about the apps as if they are already fully researched and upgraded, and as if you have the chip upgrades that grant you more energy. I would like to start with the 2 apps I always use for my default loadout, ones that really help you dominate solo or as a group. I briefly mentioned these in the guide intro video as part of the Can Do Anything loadout. First up is the best application in the game, that's the C2C Pulse. You unlock it after beating the 3rd stage Atlantic Accelerator. It requires 1800 energy to fill, which isn't too much considering certain enemies and friendly reboots give you 1000 energy and 2000 for kills on expert. This application is the only one that drains this energy meter as you use it, allowing you to fill it with energy as it's being used so it can last as long as you are able to throw energy to it. You can assault anyone as a tanking medic and come out without a scratch. Yes, it's overpowered, but hey, it's how many versus you? You can still be down by just a few guys in expert as you take more damage on higher difficulties. Just activating this app heals you and team members anywhere in the stage a partial amount. It pulses healing rays as it empties, and each ray heals 15%. These pulses allow you to reboot allies if you are unable to, due to being out of view, taking cover, or an ECM is jamming you from reviving and breaching. One player makes a huge difference with this on, so a team of 4 turns the game's expert difficulty into easy mode. Here is a clip on expert difficulty where I had C2C Pulse last 1 minute 10 seconds. Notice the large energy XP gains from downing and exploding agents went right back to filling C2C. And this is why Backfire is so useful with C2C, which I'll explain next. That entire fight was one C2C Pulse. Enough said. And one important note, if you get downed right as you activate C2C Pulse, when you are revived it shows as if you don't have your pulse to use anymore and you wasted it. That's a bug and it's still there to be used as shown here. The second app I use that works well with C2C Pulse is Backfire. Backfire is one of 3 applications unlocked from the start. It's a cheap one to refill at 900 energy and is super effective in several situations. Backfire can knock 2 enemies to the ground in one use while doing a small amount of damage to the selected targets. Depending which enemy type, difficulty, and if they sustain damage already, it can also kill them. Its main purpose is to assess damage control. If too many enemies are shooting at you, take 2 of them off you for 2 less guns putting on the hurt. The main use for Backfire is for reactive and agent enemies. This puts them down to the ground as well for easy cleaning up. Sorry to interrupt, I'm updating this video months later. The best piece of info I forgot about Backfire is after using it on enemies, it weakens them for a brief time. Massive extra damage can be done during that time. Here you can see it took a reactive 9 shots to take down his health bar, where after Backfire it only took 4. The next clip is how to combine C2C Pulse with Backfire and the CQ-11 shotgun for reactive and agent types. For each encounter, enter Dark Vision so you do increased damage, jumping in and out of it when attacking or reloading and breaching enemies. For reactives, run at them and activate your C2C Pulse right as you begin breaching them. Once their first impenetrable armor is gone, shoot away this short second layer of armor shown by the orange block. If you don't do this quick enough, the first layer of armor will come back and they need to be breached again. Once this short layer of armor is gone, you will see them react to it. And now that they are vulnerable and their health is in the white bar, use backfire then start shooting them. Using backfire during this part of the health is important. This is what it looks like if a reactive loses either of their two pieces of armor in the middle of them being on the ground from a backfire blast. They break the slow animation getting to their feet and will just immediately stand up ready to shoot. This won't happen if backfire is used while on their white health bar and have a slower recovery. For enemy agent squads, run at them with C2C active and make sure your backfire hits the active C2C medic in their group. These guys make it really hard to do damage on the other agents. They are stronger than a single player can be with healing abilities maxed. Once this medic agent is down, chip rip him. This may get you killed on hard or expert if attempting solo, so you may need to breach explode him if you're not with a group of players. The fight is now much easier with the medic agent gone. Damage Link is another app unlocked from the start. It refills with 1800 energy and when activated causes you and your teammates to do increased damage. It lasts for a brief time and the difference is noticeable. It will take several shots less to kill normal enemies with assault rifles and heavier armor types less shots per health bar with the CQ-11 shotty. Activating it also grants the team full dart overlay, which is pretty good. You can build a solid gameplay style around Damage Link. I myself prefer it to be used when with a group. That way we are more rounded with me still using backfire and someone else arms us with the Damage Link buff. Now I'm not sure if this was a hiccup in the game, but I have seen this app last for 40 seconds before. On my own I couldn't replicate this thinking it can act like C2C pulse, where when you kill more it keeps it going. It can be seen in my 2-player Colorado Expert video, linked below. Moving on, shielding is the last of the 3 apps unlocked from the start. It refills with 1800 energy and frankly isn't that good. Activating it gives you and your teammates a temporary shield to stop incoming damage. This shield doesn't last that long on normal, let alone expert, where it feels like it's gone once you have it. It does have a nice touch of releasing a short 5-meter EMP pulse when it is depleted, but you'll need to be right on top of enemies for it to be of any use. For costing the same amount of energy to refill as C2C pulse, which is light years better in every way, just stay away from this one. Squad Heal. Unlocked after completing the first stage Western Europe, this costs a cheap 900 energy to fill up and will heal all your teammates back to full health no matter where they are on the map. No direct breaching of them required. It also temporarily blocks electric stun attack weapons for 10 seconds while active. When Squad Heal is activated, it kinda adds an extra health bar that isn't viewable onto what the player currently has, and anything after full health is still used. You can see at the top here that the Squad Heal app is doing some healing work. Squad Heal is a decent app, but there's no reason to choose it over C2C Pulse. It can be used in conjunction with C2C Pulse, but that is preferred within a group play. Solo play, you would want an attacking app instead of 2 healing ones. EMP is unlocked from completing Mozambique, requires 900 energy to refill, and is pretty solid for a low-cost app. The basic description says everything that the app does. Decloaks specters, detonates EMP backpacks, stuns enemies, shuts down turrets, and disables grenades and rockets. Then there's the final upgrade, which is the best part. It immediately takes down 1 layer of shielding from liquid and reactive enemies. Be within range of them and watch them automatically lose their layer of armor. This can make heavy enemy encounters fast in 4-player if 2 or more are using EMP. I find backfire to be a bit more effective in solo play, which is why I choose that over EMP on my standard setup. EMP also has no effect on enemy agents. E-Drain, unlocked by completing Colorado, requires 900 energy and is a breaching app that damages enemies to siphon health back to you and your teammates. It doesn't say the exact base amount of damage it does before mentioning the percentage increases per upgrade. You will get 50% health back, which is the same as when you melee an enemy for health, and your team only gets 10% of that damage back as health. Sounds cool, yeah? Well, it's actually not too good when comparing apps. Why would you use this over Squad Heal, which takes the same amount of energy to refill and fully heals all players? Do I need to recap C2C Pulse again? E-Drain was just a lazy man's thought to add another app in the game to total 12. Don't use it. I'll just say the health payout isn't big enough to have this take up an app slot. The coolest part about E-Drain is the energy snowflakes that come your way. Aw, would you just look at them? Anyways, Focus Breach. Complete China to unlock it. Requires 900 energy and simply put, increases breach speed for everyone. Not a bad app, but not one you ever really need. In solo play, you want to use a health app and something to affect the enemy. Group play, you should all combined be able to breach faster anyways. I gotta say, it does look cool when activated. Virus. Unlocked by completing Scandinavia and requires 2700 energy to refill. This one is pretty nice. It does damage over time to all enemies a decent chunk and can affect a total of 3 enemies. The other 2 being the nearest to the one you breached Virus onto. It will kill normal enemies and agents with 1 use but not reactive and liquids. Its best feature is being able to take away the shielding armor reactive and liquids have. Again, I find it to be a better app for a group setting only since it costs so much to refill. Battery. Unlocked by beating Northern Territories and needing 2700 energy per refill. Another simple one, battery refills all applications for you and teammates except another battery app. So this is best used when with a team. If battery is used on an active C2C pulse, the pulse keeps going but with a full energy bar as if it was just activated. Focus target. Beat Argentina to unlock and it needs 900 energy to refill. Focus target does numerous things to the single enemy it is breached onto. The enemy is highlighted yellow for all to see outside of dart vision. They can be breached faster, are slowed down 30%, and take more damage from all sources. I didn't see the damage increases as too incremental when I used it. Since this increases breaching speed to a target, this should be used on liquid and reactive types. Focus target would at least be an app to help newer players understand what to do in certain situations. So, did I save the best for last? Nope, and I'm the biggest detractor to the final app you unlock after beating the last stage, New England. This app is Reboot. This is the most overrated app in the game. So you think getting a quote second life is good? It may be in every other game that has a similar feature, but let me show you why it's not in Syndicate. The biggest issue is there is a delay after rebooting for when you can control your character again. During this delay, you can begin losing the full health you just restarted with. On Expert, this will be lost very quickly and you will only be lucky enough to die again. This happens more often than getting far enough to hide and be safe. For a game based on strong co-op, this is the least co-op friendly app. So many times someone will come to rescue a down player only for them to reboot themselves, so it's a distraction app unless you're fully paying attention at the top if the player has reboot to spend. I'd rather you use the lame E-Drain I mentioned earlier, that way you at least give me partial health just before I need to run over there to save you. Then again, it doesn't matter because if I need to use my C2C pulse, that will keep me alive and the other daring teammates that ran over there to help you. The best thing about Reboot is it gives you enough energy to refill apps when self-revived. The game says 50% energy goes to your apps, but it's actually more. It must be counting the revive bonus even if it doesn't say it on the screen. It was around 2600 refilled towards apps as it was just shy of refilling an empty battery app. Lastly, for the cost to use Reboot at 2700, it's not worth it. Just like the fast crawl and survivor chip upgrades, Reboot is an app planned around you dying. So have confidence, improve and use apps to prevent you from dying. Now you can walk away knowing what's good to try out, equip, and complete missions with ease. Thanks again for watching.